Time for ZOVERDRIVE, brought to you by my friends at the Albrecht Auto Group. I take the will drive the show, so anything goes if you're in a hunt for Chrysler, Buick, Dodge, GMC, Jeep, you name it, Nissan, Subaru, Toyota. You go find any of them at the 8 Albrecht dealerships, AlbrechtAutoGroup.com. You'll get respect at Albrecht. Okay, we had a little anniversary this past week in sports. So, do you remember the collapse the Bruins had against the Chicago Blackhawks in Game 6?
Never forget
at the
it.
end of the game.
Yes.
Where the 2 goals at the end of that game.
There goes Crawford to the bench for the extra attacker. No goaltender for Chicago. With a minute 20 remaining.
Unbelievable.
And here's Taves centering one. Score! Brian Bickle from the top of the crease. Puts it in with 1:16 remaining for the extra attacker goal to tie it up at 2. Right side comes Frolik with a wrist shot steered away by Rask. And Oduya left point, a long drive. Tap! Score! Dave Bolin puts it in from the top of the crease, and all of a sudden the Hawks have the lead with 58.3 seconds left.
The Bruins collapsed in Game 6, and it was the anniversary this week. So, it begs the asking. Since the Sports Hub first started, there have been a lot of bad losses that stick with you in Boston sports. What date did the Sports Hub come to be? It was August of 2009 was our launch date. So since the Sports Hub has been formed here over the last 16 years, as we head to August, it'll be 16 years this August. Give me your top 5 worst losses that are gut-wrenching losses for you as a Boston sports fan.
I'm
I'm going to start with my number 1. So that being that with the Bruins, that was a bad one. That's
your number 1.
That's in your top 5.
Will be my number 1. There's a clear, there's an obvious number 1. You go ahead and say it, Zoe.
I'm going into my 13th year calling football games for this franchise.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to call 5 Super Bowls. And the one that we lost, or that the Patriots lost in Minnesota, where when you had Tom Brady, and Tom Brady in his prime threw for 505 yards, 505 in a Super Bowl. It was just surgical until the final drive when he fumbled. It was the Malcolm Butler game where he didn't play Malcolm. It was against the Eagles, they were below you. They upset you in that game. You should have won that. Should have won that game.
Nick Foles.
That was Nick Foles
their
beat
quarterback.
Because it was Carson Wentz was trending to be the MVP that year.
Yeah, and
he got hurt out west.
Nick
on that
Foles
knee.
came in and sliced you up.
I mean, Nick Foles dialed it up on you, and you didn't play Malcolm in the second half when Jordan Richards was out there. It looked like
You didn't play Malcolm any of the first half or second half.
like one special team snap. It was weird. And I remember sitting there looking at Bob like, hey, Bob, it's the end of the first quarter. Malcolm hasn't been out there yet.
You see Jordan Richards out there?
That's what I was like.
Jonathan Batamosi.
Batamosi,
running
that's
around
right.
on a slot
That's
receiver.
right.
And it's
Great
and it's,
special teams player.
of all freaking people, Aguilar catching a ball on a key third down late in the game, which sort of solidified it for him. So that's number 1 for me. You got number 1?
Well, I thought you were going to. My number 1 is football. It is a Super Bowl. Devastating second Giants loss. Zoe, look. I went back. That game confused me so much because in my head I'm saying, I've seen the Patriots win this game 100 times. This is such a Patriots game. It's a close game. Tom Brady has the ball. There's Wes Welker. And you could argue it was not the most perfect Brady pass.
I thought it was a great throw.
But it's right there.
It's back shoulder away from the safety.
I mean, dog, catch the ball.
Catch the ball.
Catch
Yes.
the ball. And you remember the defense. If you go back and you watch that game again, they had Gerard Warren was on the team. Vince Wilfork, all the defense is there, and they're all like this.
Vince is like this. Vince goes, oh, my God.
And they all
They
put
knew
their
that was
heads
it.
down. If you listen to the, because the refs were mic'd up for that game.
Yeah.
And who's the guy? John, lead official.
Oh, Jesus. He called the safety in the first drive. Vinovich. Was it Bill Vinovich?
No, it was one of, he goes, and we didn't know it at the time. We saw the replay. He goes, that was a game right there. That was a game. Like, you catch that ball, dude.
Yeah.
Games like you got it. I can't believe. I can't believe. And you pair it. So you pair it with like back to back, where you have a catchable ball for Welker,
right,
and then you have the divinely dropped Eli Manning to Mario Manningham.
Yep.
It was just a beautiful throw and catch.
I was doing sidelines at the time. Gil and Gino were up in the booth. I was on the sideline. I had the open mic. And there's like Gil's like, no way that's a catch. And I remember I was like 6 yards from it. And I'm staring at Manningham's feet. He's got
Yes.
both in. And then I looked to the sideline, and it was so clear to me. I could still see it and visualize it because you have the 3 feet of white,
Yeah.
and all I see is the ball. His feet were inbounds, and he literally had side of his body in his hands, 2 feet out over the white. The ball dropped out of bounds into his
It
hands.
was unbelievable.
And I'm like-
One of the
I'm like,
best
guys, it's a
throws
catch.
and catch.
It's
It
a
was
catch.
so well done.
That catch and the Julio Jones catch in the 28-3 game were two of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
Yeah. So
Of course.
that's my number one. What's your one?
I would go 2019 Bruins, Game 7. Right,
That's
got to
a-
win that game.
that's it.
And it felt like coming
St.
back
Louis.
to Boston.
So
it was
St.
it.
Louis
Yes.
losing Game 7 in your
Yes.
house.
Yeah.
I do have another Patriots game on my list though. 2010 against the Jets.
I have that too.
Oh, that was
That was divisional round.
That
That was-
team was rolling in the second half of the
14 and
season.
2.
Yep.
What did Bob Newmeyer call it? The 7-minute and 32-second drive to nowhere.
Yep. That's
Where he
right.
just milk clock.
That's
for
right.
nothing.
Was that the
Yep.
not Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Chung, the fake punt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
I
call.
was saying-
Yep. Same game. Same
And
game.
that stupid screen that a tight end got picked
That
off.
got picked.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
God, dude. Mark Sanchez.
But that 2010
dimes.
team was playing so well going into the postseason. They were blowing teams out.
They were 14-2 in the number 1 seed.
And that was
You beat the Jets 45-3 that year.
Yes, that's right, the
it's
Monday
a few
night
weeks
game.
ago,
Yeah.
Not even a month earlier.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
You know, and that wasn't that the year Brady was unanimous MVP.
Yeah.
Correct.
Unanimous.
So these are all losses from the Sports Hub era. So you can't go like, obviously they lose the perfect year, but that was 07. So we're going 2009 on. So I'm with you. I have number 1, Patriots Super Bowl loss to the Eagles. Then I go Bruins.
lot of
Bruins game
wins.
7. How were they eliminated when they had the best team in the world 2 years ago?
Okay, there it is.
That's first round, right?
Florida.
First round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What game was that? Was it game 6 loss or?
Well, you could say all
7?
of them.
Yeah.
I mean, how about the
No, but
game?
how, like-
I'll tell you the most devastating one. You had an opportunity, Marchand. Remember, breakaway to win the series. You're thinking Bobby
Yeah.
Orr. You got a breakaway late. Oh my God. Is he going to win the series? He's stoned on that, and they lose it. They're up 3. They had an opportunity to win. They were up 3-1.
Yeah.
They got an opportunity to win each game, and they lose it,
Right.
and all of them, like in the final minute.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're not missing anything Red Sox wise, are we, Milliken? Like, there's no.
Well,
I mean, because you have a series, they won all their.
I got an
like,
honorable mention on the Red Sox. Red Sox don't make the top 5 because when they've gotten, give them credit, in this era when they've gotten into those championship situations,
They win the series, right.
They win it.
Yeah.
But honorable mention. Yep, go ahead. You got it.
Evan Longoria, 2011.
I was gonna say.
Give me
The
more.
Baltimore.
Yep, absolutely.
The epic collapse. At the
Chicken
end
and
of
beer.
Oh,
2011,
that's-
yeah.
Chicken and beer, where you've got.
Was that where they didn't celebrate, but they were told to celebrate?
No, this
No,
is
no,
that.
no, they
This is their terrible.
collapse.
Their
Yeah.
terrible September was.
Oh my God, that's when
Carl
Shaughnessy was
Crawford.
sitting in.
Yes,
there's-
with Heidi
Oh my God,
Watney,
Dan Shaughnessy and Heidi Watney. Shaughnessy, there's no possible way.
There's
they-
no way.
Yeah.
Shaughnessy killed George Michael and he killed the Red Sox.
Right. And Baltimore beat you, and they celebrated like they had won the World Series. They were a terrible team. They won like 60-something games. And, Carl Crawford, thrown out at the plate or something like that. It was like a big play where he wasn't – I know it wasn't thrown out. He couldn't make the play. And the Red Sox collapsed. But that's honorable
But
mention.
I remember them not winning a game, but they won the division or something. They didn't want to celebrate. And then I remember Farrell yelling at them in the clubhouse. Hey, guys, you earned this. You got to celebrate. It was weird. I forget which one that was.
Well, but they were a
But they were still a playoff
They were a
team.
playoff team.
Right.
How about this one? Basketball.
Basketball. Give me
How
one.
about the Celtics losing Game 7, 2010
Was this
to the Lakers?
Yeah.
2010.
what was the one LeBron got dunked on by?
That was 2018.
Oh, that's 2018.
2018.
That
That's
was a
Game 7.
playoff game, right?
Yep.
Yes, that was
Eastern
when they
Conference
just missed.
Finals.
They missed all those
So I
threes.
could say that.
Yeah.
I could say that one because it was that to me was like almost a defining moment for Tatum.
I think it was who was 0 for 10 from 3? Was it Rozier?
Rozier.
Oh, 0 for
Rozier.
10.
Yeah.
Scary Terry. Ooh.
Yeah. It was not scary in Game 7, unfortunately.
Yeah, not scary.
Yeah.
But I would say the Celtics are up 3-2 in that series.
Yep. Going back to LA.
Perk gets hurt in Game 6. They get blown out.
Yep.
So Game 7, they've got a lead in the fourth quarter, and Rod Artest, Meta World Peace, who's shooting like 20-something percent.
Couldn't make a shot
for the series.
Yeah.
Hits a 3 over Paul Pierce. Kevin Garnett had 3 rebounds, I think, in Game 7. Rasheed Wallace out of shape, so he leaves Game 7 with back spasms.
He was playing well too. That was the frustrating thing. It was just like an old team
Kobe
that
Bryant
ran out of gas.
had 15 rebounds. The reason he had 15 rebounds is because they had so many missed shots. They doubled, almost tripled them up on the boards.
Yeah.
Like Paul Gasol had like 18 rebounds. Kobe had 15. They had that series. That series was in their grasp, and they lose it.
Did anyone say Bruins 2010? Flyers?
No.
I didn't
Up
think about that.
3-0.
Up 3-0. But Krejci got hurt there, though. You know.
Still,
Oh.
3-0.
Yeah.
I'll make that
softens
excuse
the blow.
for him.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Nice. Good job.
And even T-Bone, to make that even worse, so they had a 3-zip series lead.
A 3-0
in
in the game.
7, they're up 3-zip.
It's
And they
unbelievable.
lose it. The Bruins have
Unbelievable.
We could do a top 5 Bruins. It's the Bruins.
They're gonna rip your heart.
There's a
out.
lot with the Bruins, which is scary. Yeah. All right, there's your overdrive.